Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with Beloved Beauty Monthly for the month of February. I want to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers. We hit a milestone on New Year's Eve. 7 minutes before the new year hit, we reached 4,000 subscribers, which, I mean, for any of you that started a YouTube channel, you probably know that that's almost unimaginable. Like, it's not something that we think about when we're starting out. We don't think about the numbers. We're thinking about, I'm doing this because it brings me joy. I hope that my channel will grow. I hope that I'll be able to reach people and inspire people and all of those things. But that has happened. And I'm super, super grateful. I also want to say thank you for all of you that have been around for a while and you've been around the block with me a time or two. I thank you for your continued support and your encouragement, your engagement, your comments, everything. I love everything about this community, everything. So let's talk about a little bit about what Beloved Beauty Monthly is. So, as I mentioned in the first video, it's an opportunity for us to look back and to look forward. So we're going to be talking about what we did in the month of January, and then we're going to be talking about plans for February. And so we'll also be doing some little celebrations and things like that. We'll be doing a drawing at the end of this video, or at some point in this video, there's going to be a prompt. So you're going to want to watch the video so that you know the prompt, so that you can be included in the drawing. So there will be a drawing a week from today, and I'll be drawing folks from the comments in this video for the folks who respond appropriately to the prompt. So you'll have to hang out with me for a little while. So I do want to tell you, full disclosure, because perfection is not at play in the studio, I recorded this a little bit ago, and I was watching it back, and I just had gotten done with dinner, and I had like food in my teeth. So I'm like, nope, can't do it. That level of, yeah, just can't do it because it was distracting. So anyway, back to the subject matter. So let's talk about January recap. So in the month of January, we did 18 videos. I think that's really a record. I usually do 3 videos a week. So then that would be 3 videos a week times 4 weeks in an average month. That's 12 videos. We did 18. This was my calendar for the month of January. Is that crazy? I was just so inspired. I mean, by a number of things. I was inspired by my own life. I was inspired by other creators that I watch. I was inspired to really explore a variety of ideas for creating ephemera that has a lot of writing space but is low profile. So we were able to accomplish that. We did burrito pockets. Let me pull that out again. Let's see. We did large gatefold tags with a tuck. We did burrito pockets. We did mixed media tags. We did waterfall belly bands. We did Z-fold tags with extra writing space. We did origami belly bands with extra writing space. And yeah, so super fun projects. I really enjoyed that, and it seemed like the community enjoyed them too. We had a lot of views and a lot of interest in those things, so we will continue on. So so we did 18 videos, and that included, as I mentioned, the ephemera, making ephemera with extra writing space. That was really kind of the goal. And I apologize if I get a little rummy. It's a work night, so I don't usually record on work nights. And so I'm a little bit tired and I have notes. So we'll see how it goes. So we also played with, I got a 12 by 12 jelly plate, 12 by 14 jelly plate from my husband for Christmas. So we did a video where we played with that. I plan on doing more of that in the future. I'm going to be using some embossing folders, making paper with embossing folders, and using that to create some texture on my plate. And so I'll bring you along for that. And if you're interested, you can watch. If you're not, you can go along your way. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, especially if it's jelly printing requires a whole different list of supplies. extra things that people not everybody has. So I understand if it's not something, I mean, you may enjoy watching, but I know that not everybody can just go out and do that. So, but I hope that you would still enjoy seeing the play, which that's what it is to me. We also finished the Dried Gatherings journal, and we did the drawing. And so I want to say a big congratulations to Chris Kirsch. She was the grand prize winner. She was actually the default grand prize winner because the grand prize winner never contacted me, which made me sad. I don't like it when that happens, because I feel like if people make the time to comment on the video that makes them qualified for the journal, I'm always hoping that they'll come back and they'll check when we do the drawing. And unfortunately this person didn't, and so as per my instructions, I said, if I don't hear back in a week, I'll be doing another drawing. So I did. So Chris was the winner, and as much as I'm always happy with no matter who wins. It just fills my bucket. I love giving them away. But Chris has been on the channel for a long time, and so I've really appreciated her support, and I know that because she's been around and she's seen me through various things on the channel, I knew that she was really going to treasure that. So I'm really glad. Congratulations, Chris. And there were 3 other prizes that went along. The second, third, and fourth prize that went out to 3 other individuals, and those were all mailed out, and they should have received them by now. So yay! So that was exciting. So that was a blast of a journal to make. I absolutely adored that process. So we also began and finished the Winter Wonder Journal #1, and that journal is actually sold. And congratulations, Judy, for purchasing that journal. I don't normally sell my work, but she reached out, and I mentioned that I was open to I was open to selling it. And she reached out and asked if it was still available, and I said yeah, and so we worked that all out, and so I did end up selling it to her, which is, for me, it's a joyous thing, but it's also a little conflictual because I give so much of the stuff away. I really struggle with, I wouldn't say guilt, I guess just I feel conflicted about selling it. Yeah. So, but I'm glad that I did, and I will be doing that from time to time. I won't be always selling my work, but if I make something available, I'll let you know, and if you're interested, you can reach out to me. I'm not going to open a shop. I'm not doing any of that. Not doing any of it. I've had the Etsy shop. I've done that whole thing before, dealt with the tax nightmares, and I'm not going to do it again. So, anyway, that is that. So, and then we also, another thing that we did, which we had a goal to do, was to start Watercolor 101. So we did episode 1, and that was really, really fun. We talked about the personality of watercolor and how magical and persnickety it is, and it truly is. But I love watercolor. When I get in a blocked place, or I get in an emotionally stuck place and I want to create, watercolor is what I do. Watercolor is what I do when I go on vacation, because I don't take other crafting stuff with me. But I do take my watercolor always, whether it's going fishing, going to the park, going to the lake. I take my watercolor. That's primarily what I focus on during those times. So I am not a watercolor expert. I'm a watercolor enthusiast. I fell in love with watercolor about 7 or 8 years ago, and I absolutely adore it. I love the magical play between the water, the pigment, and the paper. I love how the colors work together and how they don't work together sometimes. And so I'm not an expert, but I do know a lot about watercolor, and I have a heart full of joy for it. And so I'm going to bring you what I know, and we're going to play together. We're going to actually kind of bust out of some boxes too, because I have a fear of drawing, of really just letting myself go and creating my own composition so that I can paint my own watercolor composition. And so we're going to be doing some pen and ink work on the channel, where we'll be playing with some watercolor techniques and practicing doing a little bit of drawing. And if that means I have to get a rubber stamp out and look at it on my table and start practicing the shapes and the forms, that's what I'm going to do. Probably before I turn the camera on, but that's kind of how I'm going to kind of prepare my mind. It's a mind block for me. So, and I'm a risk taker, so I don't understand what that's about, but we're going to play together and we're going to figure it out. So I had originally said that my goal was to do Mixed Media 101 and Watercolor 101, 2 videos of each of those a month. I don't think that that's going to be feasible. I don't think it's attainable with all of my other projects. So I will commit to doing at least one of each month. If I can do more, I will, but I'm going to have grace for myself and do what I can to bring the content that not only is desired by the community, but also is something that's in my heart, you know, because if I'm stretching myself too thin, the joy goes right out of it, and I don't want that. So I'm really working on balance. I want to create when I want to create, and do what makes me happy. So I'm trying to find that balance. So we did Watercolor 101. And the Mixed Media 101 didn't make the cut for the month of January. If you note my schedule, my calendar I showed you, that is why. We had a snowstorm, a major winter snow event, and I was stuck at home for 8 days. And that's all I did was craft and do videos, which I kept feeling like we were going to lose power. We lost it one time briefly. But I was able to create for pretty much 8 days straight. It was like glorious. It was like heaven. It's like how I imagine heaven would be. I can just create whenever I want. Don't have to go to work. Don't have to create, well, I did cook and stuff, but I think you know what I mean. Just uninterrupted art in terms of just being home doing what I love. So that was really cool. But so I got really ahead on the videos, hence why I didn't even think to record mixed media. I mean, I thought about it, but then I want to do the texture paste and the homemade gesso texture paste thing, and I didn't have the supplies that I needed to do that. So by the time I realized that, I was like, we're going to have to do it in the month of February. So we will do Mixed Media 101. I think that's going to go up on the channel on the 2nd, so February 2nd. So anyway, those 2 things are going to be happening. And then, I did my January Sunday's Art of Truth. Some of you watched that. What Sunday's Art of Truth is where I do a mixed media project. It's usually 9 times out of 10, it is a mixed media project, and it is inspired by either something that I'm struggling with, something that I'm learning, something that I'm trying to apply to my life, a truth, a revelation, a hope, an inspiration. And so I do the art piece, and then I also write a blog about it. And in the blog, I write about what was in my thinking, what was in my heart. Because I'm a writer at heart too. I love to write, and I think I do it okay. I don't take a lot of time with Sunday's Art of Truth because I'm not into perfection, but I know how to write in a colorful way and describe what I'm feeling and what I'm processing. So I often do it around hard things like loss and grieving things. But this time I did an art piece for my granddaughter, Kenzie, who is turning 13 in a couple of weeks, and it was called Becoming Her, and it was a mixed media panel. And oh my goodness, it felt so good to get my hands messy. It felt so good to be up to my elbows, so to speak, in mixed media supplies and paint and messiness, and I loved it so much. And so I created this piece called Becoming Her, and it was a reflective piece as I was looking and celebrating her life and her experiences that are so different than mine. And I was looking back kind of like I was in the shallow end of my own childhood experiences as I was thinking about it and as I was writing about it and as I was creating the piece. But it wasn't like a bad place to be. It was like a reflective place to be. Oh, my experience was this, but look at her experience. Like, wow, like she's got these amazing parents and she has all the love a kid could need. She has everything that she needs, and she is celebrated, she is encouraged, she is challenged, she is beautiful, she is fun, she is silly, she's 12 going on 13. She's not 12 going on 17. So it's a really, really beautiful thing. So I was thinking about what her life is like, becoming her, coming into her own. 13 is a really critical age, I think, in a child's life. And so that's what I wrote about. So if you haven't already checked it out, you can head on over to my channel. That published it published on yesterday, so the 28th of January. And I have 77 Sundays Art of Truth on the channel, so there's plenty of things to watch. And all of them come with some sort of inspiration. So that is that. We got that done. And then we also did video 1 and 2 of the reference journal, and I'm still figuring out how I want to keep on going with that. I know that I want it to hold ephemera, pieces that I've made, but I also want it to have a place where I can put who inspired it and any instructions that I might have created. So Mandy Reed from Sunflowers Indoors, she had commented on, I believe, my Facebook post and said, oh man, I watched Corey Dahlman over at what is Creating with Scraps, I think her channel name is. And she did a reference journal tutorial where the way that they constructed the journal, it had a pocket in between the pages. And I so wish that I had known that or thought of that, because I think that would have been the epic way to do it. And in the next video I might show you what that would look like if we were to do it again, and show you, kind of give you a picture of what I think that would look like and how cool that would be. So I'm still trying to figure out how to insert some stuff so that I can put notes and inspiration, who was inspired by, and the channel name and whatever, or if it was me and put that with the piece. But I figure if nothing else, I can just put it on maybe a particular colored paper and put it in a pocket that already exists in the piece. That would be fine too. So still playing with that. We're going to come back and put some stuff in the journal just so you guys can see, and I can see what it looks like and feels like to get some ephemera pieces in it. I have not saved an ephemera piece for everything I've made since I started, so some of it I'm going to have to, I don't know, maybe I'll go through my bin of things I've made in the past to pull a sample out, so I have something to put in there for some of the older stuff that I really, really liked. So that is that. So more of that coming. And we also revisited Crash Your Trash. We did episode 19. Yes. Episode 19, where we used junk mail envelopes. We took 3 junk mail envelopes and made 3 different projects out of them. That was super fun. I loved it so much. I miss Crash Your Trash. So we're going to be doing that at least once a month, if not more. So we'll see. I have big eyes when it comes to content, and only so many hours in a day. I mean, I work, and I have a busy life outside of what I do here in the studio, so we'll see how it goes. I don't want to encumber myself with a lot of expectations, so that's kind of a mantra for the new year here. So I'm also toying with the idea of starting a junk journal group. It would be a share group. It wouldn't be like a typical group like we're all a part of. It would be very different. I'm still thinking and praying about what I want that to look like, because I want people to be able to share their videos, but I don't want any selling on the group. And there's also certain content that I I just can't support. I don't, and if you guys have watched me for any length of time, I don't do anything that's Halloween or dark or witchy kind of things. I don't do, I just can't support that stuff. I don't mind steampunk, but if it turns really dark, I can't support it. And so that would be one of the things that somebody would have to agree to if they want to be part of the group. And it's not that I want to control people's content. It's that I need to guard that place, because I believe that the light that we bring or the dark that we bring into a place affects that place. And I have no problem with what people choose to create or what they are inspired by. That is not what that's about at all. But it is about what I allow into a place in my world that is of value to me. So those are the things that I'm still praying about, because I want to be able to present that in a way that's going to be understood and established with compassion. I also want to preface it by saying I have no interest whatsoever in becoming a big group where I get all the people come to my group and it's in competition with other groups that I love. I am in a lot of groups and I love them all for their own reasons, and so I'm not doing it to be another group that people join. What my heart is I want a place where people who watch my videos have a place that they can share, because I had a gal who did the never-ending envelope journal, and she wanted to share it with me, but there was really no place to share it with me. And so that's what started my thinking about that. So it would be more of like a share group where it's just kind of like an open forum where people can come and they can share whatever, but I still have some things to iron out, and I want to be very deliberate, and I want to be, again, very compassionate and careful about how I proceed. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. I would love to know, like, if we did that, like, you could throw out some ideas for what we could call it, just so I can get my mind going. That would be kind of cool. So we need to keep going here. So in February, we'll be finishing Winter Wonder Journal number 2. And we'll be, again, continuing, my notes are out of order, continuing the reference journal. The other thing is that Sweet Yvonne over at Memory Journals by Yvonne, she's from the Netherlands, and she watches my videos all the time, and every time there's a drawing, she's like, oh, bummer. Like, no, that's not, I'm paraphrasing that, but there's this feeling like she really wants to be able to be a part of a drawing, but I don't send outside of the United States or Canada. And so we were chatting in a private message on Instagram, and she suggested a swap. So we're going to do a swap. So she's making me a journal, I'm making her a journal, and I'm so excited. So anytime you see in the video description, it'll say Sweet Yvonne's journal, and there'll be pieces in that will be for her journal. And we've already talked about how it's okay if we record some of those bits, some of that creativity on the on each of our channels. So I'm super excited about that. And we've also given ourselves permission to take however long it takes. We are removing expectations, removing pressure, removing stress. We both want it to be a joyful, kind of grace-filled process for each of us, so that if it takes 6 months, it takes 6 months. We're just gonna putz along, because we both have other projects and other things to do as well. So yeah, so yay, Yvonne. So excited. So the other thing I'm going to be doing that I want to talk about is I have made a decision that I am no longer going to be doing any guest design teamwork. So as much as I've enjoyed that, I feel like it puts me in a little bit of a box, and which is the same reason I don't do challenges. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, I'm in all these groups and I don't do the challenges, and it's because I feel like it puts me in a box creatively, and I don't fare well in that space. So so I've decided I'm not going to do that anymore. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to, if I find a creator that I love, I don't need you to send me your kit. If I love your work and I love your digitals, I'm going to buy your digital, and I'm going to support your business by buying your digital, and then I'm going to share it on my video, and I'm going to link your shop, and I'm going to link your kits. And I've been doing that for a long time without being a design team member. So that's my decision. I'm just setting myself free. I'm letting that go. Sometimes I feel this like necessity, or this not obligation, I mean sort of obligation to do it because people ask, and then I feel like, oh, I need to do this because they're asking me and they're so generous, and all those things are true, but it doesn't fit for me anymore. And so, but that being said, I love Daisy Isaac's work over at French Cottage Shabby, and I've been kind of an ambassador for her digitals in the last months. I mean, around Christmas and before Christmas, I did some work with her digitals, but I purchased those digitals. Like, she wanted me to be an ambassador, and she was offering discount codes and stuff through my channel and my links, which is fine. But again, if I love the digitals, I'm going to just purchase them. And I did. I've purchased everything I've used everything I've used that she's created, I've purchased. And so I will continue to work with her stuff, but not as a design team person. And I'm not technically a design team member for her either. At least that's not, and I may have to clarify that with her as well. And I'm not trying to be difficult or anything. I need to be free. So, but that being said, there's another creator who's reached out to me, and just in a collaborative sense, he says, I'd like you to take a look at my shop. I'd like to offer your viewers 50% off of digitals in my shop, and notice the channel and blah blah blah, all of that stuff, which is all great. And so I'm going to have a look at the kits, but again, I will find a kit that I like to work with, and I will purchase it from this gentleman, and then I will do a project using the kits, and I will provide whatever discount codes this creator wants to offer to you all. And that's the only way I feel okay about doing collaborative work. So that's my decision. So I hope that you guys understand that. That's just it's a revelation that I've had, and I need to honor that. So I don't know how much, and there's no like commitment. He's not asking for a commitment, so that's pretty cool too. And nor is Daisy, so that's awesome. So so the last thing is the prompt. So I have to preface this because I almost feel like I get a little bit flushed. So I wanted to share my favorite joke with you as the prompt. So just to give you a little bit of background, I've been telling this joke to my grandkids since they were little because it's my favorite joke. So don't we like to share our favorite joke with people around us, the people that we love. Well, they're too little to understand the joke. They're too little to understand the punchline because it's not an adult movie, but an adult movie. And so it took years and years and years for them to remember it. I would tell them every single time we were exchanging jokes, I would tell them my joke, and I'd be like, remember Grammy's joke? And I'd ask it the next time, and they never remembered until they got older, and now they all remember. And my granddaughter, Kenzie, the one I made the canvas for, she actually made me they did a paint pour, and her mom helped her do some vinyl words on the Winnie the Pooh picture that they put on there, and with the inside joke of the joke. So my favorite joke is, and so you have to know, well, let me tell you the joke, and then I'll give you where it came from. So what did Winnie the Pooh say to his agent? show me the honey. Okay? I don't know if you guys ever watched Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is one of my all-time favorite actors. I don't necessarily like him very much as a person these days, but he's a good actor and he's put out a lot of great movies. And so he did this movie called Jerry Maguire, and if you know it, you know it. And if you know it, you know why I call it an adult movie, because it has a couple scenes that I wouldn't want my children to watch. But in the movie, he's trying to keep one of his players, like one of his customer, not a customer, you know what I mean. He's an agent. He's trying to keep the sports guy, right? And so the sports guy is on in the video. He's like, Jerry, I want to hear you say, show me the money, show me the money. And he's so like, by the time they're done, he's like, show me the money. And so somebody made this joke about Winnie the Pooh. What did Winnie the Pooh say to his agent? Show me the honey. So I'm a Winnie the Pooh fan. I always talk about him like he's like my private boyfriend, not Tom Cruise, Winnie the Pooh. And so it's something that makes me smile a lot. So anyway, that's the prompt. So in order to be qualified for the February drawing, which is going to be 2 prizes, it doesn't matter where you live. They're going to be happy mail, so they'll be low profile for me to send. I'm kind of trying to test this out. If it goes well, I may do, in future months, I may do more than 2 people, but right now I just need to kind of test the waters. And so in order to qualify, you need to comment in this video, at the bottom of this video, you'll comment the answer to whatever the prompt was for the video, which is the joke. And if you want to add more to that and share your favorite joke, I would love that. And then next Monday, so this is January the 29th, next Monday, I will do a quick drawing. I won't be doing that drawing on camera. I'll just do a quick draw. I'll do it the same as I do my other drawings. Assign a number to every comment that's applicable, and then I'll draw 2 names. And what I'll do is I'll put the results of that in a pinned comment under this video next Monday. So I hope that you guys play along, and I hope that you don't think I'm too cheesy for my joke. It just makes me very happy. Like right now I'm looking across the studio and I have an antique The World of Pooh. I have little squishies of Tigger, Eeyore. I mean, Winnie the Pooh is everywhere in this studio beyond my desk here. So anyway, I will let you go. This went much longer than I had thought or planned, but I roll with it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you're able to be creative and that you're loving your life. So see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.